All right, Nintendo isn't using anti-drift Hall effect sensors on
Oh,
Switch
I
2
just saw
joysticks.
that.
Yes, this just popped up. I think Kyle Orland over at Ars Technica posted
Yep.
this. After dealing with years of widespread reports of stick drift on the original Switch Joy-Cons, Nintendo watchers have been hoping the Switch 2 would make use of magnetic Hall effect sensors that avoid most of the physical wear and tear that caused the problem in the first place. Now, though, a Nintendo executive has confirmed that the Joy-Cons on the new console won't make use of the more reliable but more expensive technology. Joy-Con 2's controllers have been designed from the ground up. Nintendo of America Vice President of Product Development and Publishing, Nate Bildorf, told enthusiast site Nintendo Life in a recent interview. They're not Hall effect sticks, but they feel really good. Confirmation comes after Nintendo pointedly refused to offer details about the Switch 2's joystick hardware at a roundtable Q&A session attended by Ars last week. I think there was at some point a like speculation reporting and people looking at shipping manifests and cost of goods delivered and being like, oh, hey, it looks like they're gonna have Hall effect sensors, and a lot of people, myself included, were hanging hopes on that being true. This is not new technology. The Dreamcast had Hall effect sensors, and if people are wondering what these are just a different mechanism for tracking analog stick movement. And instead of an actual mechanism that moves around, it is a magnetic field that they can track kind of, perfectly, and it doesn't degrade over time, at least not at the rate that a plastic mechanism does. So, the Dreamcast controllers don't have drift, things like that. They are more expensive, but they're not expensive. Like, they are not actually expensive. They are just more expensive than the traditional analog mechanism. But every penny counts to these companies, so I'm not surprised to hear this, but I do think, it's a disappointment and
Yeah.
probably a mistake long run. Now, I'm sure they have done other things to mitigate against drift, but the reality is this saves them money now, and it does still kind of keep a little bit of that ticking time bomb in there, where eventually these things do wear down. You got to get a new set of $90 Joy-Cons, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember, good old 2020 playing Animal Crossing, and I'm trying to freaking dig some holes to plant my garden, and my character is just kind of slowly sliding towards the ocean. Yeah, it's annoying as hell.
Yep, and it's Nintendo was fully aware of the problem. They kind of extended warranties on Joy-Con last gen because it was just happening to just about everybody. Anything that had one of those analog stick mechanisms in there, we're seeing these issues pretty quickly, and without a doubt, eventually it was happening to everyone. We'll see how long these ones last. But like I did with the Switch 1, I will likely buy some aftermarket Joy-Cons, some third-party Joy-Cons that have Hall effect sensors and a real D-pad and all that stuff, and just use those instead. So we'll see. Nintendo confirms you will have to pay to use the Switch 2's C button. This is a weird thing I didn't really think about. This is from Tyler Culp at Polygon. Nintendo has made its own Discord-like chat app for the Switch 2, and it's going to charge you for it once the free period is over on March 31st, 2026. They're giving you a lot of months there. Game chat and the C button that activates it will require a Nintendo Switch Online membership. So what happens if you aren't a subscriber and press the C button? Not much, Vice President of Player and Product Experience Bill Trennan told Polygon in a recent interview. You would be able to find out about the Nintendo Switch Online subscription there and get a sense of some of the functionality, he said.
Cool.
Presumably, this is how you'd learn that the game chat works a lot like Discord video chat works on PC. You could talk with your friends in handheld or docked mode via built-in microphone and stream your gameplay to each other. There's even a camera you could buy to overlay yourself with a stream on top of your gameplay, and talk face-to-face with others. I get that the online functionality for all these platforms are now paid for console, but having a whole button dedicated to that stuff and then making it so when you press that button, nothing else happens other than you asking me for money.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. This is an advertising button.
Right. It's like those. It's the Netflix button on my remote control for my TV.
Yes,
right.
That's exactly what it is. 100%.
I think most of it works backward from NVIDIA brings them tech, and they're like, oh, okay, well, this makes it so we can easily cut people's bodies out and place them over video. So wouldn't that be good for for a video chat with your friends and all that stuff? And they also have voice clarity features that will get rid of some room noise. And it's like it just feels so out of place because every other system has had stuff like this for so long,
Yeah.
that Switch 2 emphasizing it is weird, and but also still very Nintendo. Where like now we're doing it. You should care if you're a Nintendo fan, and a lot of Nintendo fans will care. But I don't imagine myself using like the let's all
Yeah.
get in a room and share our gameplay with one another feature on the Switch 2 exclusively
No.
many more times than like a handful. Yeah, sure. You buy a phone and then you don't get a subscription, and the phone basically doesn't do anything. You know, you can kind of connect it to Wi-Fi, but you hit that
Yeah.
phone call feature, and it's just going to open up. Be like, what do you want me to do? I'm not. You didn't
Mhm.
pay for anything, so this isn't going to work. And it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense for my
Yeah.
phone. I don't love the idea of even like one step in that direction with the consoles, where it's like, hey, you now there's a dedicated button that doesn't do anything unless you're paying us. Even though I'm definitely going to be paying them because there's no way I'm going to buy this console and not have Nintendo Switch Online. I'm going to have that,
Yeah.
and I need it for like online gameplay, something I will do a lot of. And then I like the
Totally.
Nintendo Classics, something I do use frequently. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
have this, but it's just a weird thing to like lay it out and think about because it's just I don't know.
Yeah.